So here's a quick update on the pepper plants that I started indoors from seed. I'm just starting these for demonstration purposes, just for videos. So if you want to check out my past videos on how I started these from seed and then got them to grow this far and fertilize for the first time, you can watch those videos. You can see clearly these were started the exact same time, and one is definitely a lot better than the other. This one's kind of yellow, and this one's nice and green and has a lot more leaves. So it's interesting that they're so different when everything has been exactly the same about these two plants. So I don't really have an explanation for that, but it just happens, and that's why I always start, when I start these for real, I start multiple plants, of the same thing at the same time. So I start maybe 6 or 7 extra plants of each thing that I'm doing. That way I have extra, and if I just take the best ones, and those are the ones that I put out into my garden. So it's time to fertilize again. So I do use, this is some fertilizer that I use as I get my starts going. So it is a synthetic fertilizer, and that's okay. And the first time I fertilized, you can check that video, I used this at a quarter strength from the directions on the back. When your plants are super tiny, you don't want to use full strength fertilizer, but now I'm going to go about half strength this time for the second time that I'm doing this. So that ends up being a little less than a teaspoon. So I'm going to measure that out and put it into my water and just mix it up a little bit. Let that dissolve. And then I always just bottom water my plants, whether I have fertilizer in it or not. I always bottom water whether it's my seeds and they haven't come up yet, or just my seedlings. It's always best to just bottom water those. And then in this tray, and then whatever water doesn't soak up, you can just discard that water. So just fill this up. Usually, depending on how many plants you have, if this tray is full of plants, you want to do it a couple inches, an inch or two maybe, up the cups. But that should be good for, I only have 2 cups in here, so that should be plenty. But that water will just soak up and fertilize these plants. And this is probably 2 weeks after the first time I did this for fertilizer, and I probably only watered in between once. So keep following along, and I will be starting seeds soon for real in my garden. So if you want to follow along on everything that I do, I'll show you.